Hey everyone, time for another episode of Day in Life of Vintage Classic Specialist. So, huge day for this one. I will come to that shortly, but for now, let's talk about what Rafa did. Rafa loves this bus. He just can't get enough of this thing, and so I've just been letting him do his thing here, which of course he's the best at. But he's pretty much been continuing to work up underneath the front here, like essentially kind of detailing everything, looking for opportunities where, the paint up underneath here wasn't that good. There was a lot of non-original hardware in here. So he's just kind of going crazy doing what Rafa does, and that's making things correct and making things look amazing. So you see a bunch of original hardware in here. Things cleaned up, painted, etc. So it's looking pretty brand new up underneath here now. Before, not so much. It was, like I said, just a lot of incorrect hardware and things kind of painted, but not painted that well and stuff like that. So this bus is already amazing, and we're going to make it even more amazing, super amazing, I might even say. And so we are going over it with a fine-tooth comb here. It's kind of what we do. So, yeah, he pretty much spent the whole day working on this side here. I would say the passenger side, but this one, of course, being a right-hand drive, this is the driver's side. So let's just call it the right. The right-hand side of the bus, he spent detailing out everything here and, hardware and so on. So that was pretty much his day. Here's his old school snap-on creeper. Spent a long time on that today, working up underneath here. So there you go. So for me, I started the day, spent about half the day actually, working on this bus indirectly, I'll say. Basically, what I did was I took the 356B brakes that we're going to put on here. And you guys who follow the channel may have seen those before I pointed them out. They were previously sitting back here, if you remember right. Anyway, yeah, they were original, unrestored, pretty dirty. They had like paint all over the drums and stuff like that. Anyway, so spent the morning disassembling those and searching for parts on the interwebs. And at the end of the morning, I took the drums over to a place that we use called Parts Reborn, where they do vapor honing. And so those aluminum finned brake drums are going to look as good or probably better than new. And then I think the plan is to actually have them polished. And so they're really going to pop through the wheels. And again, wheel-wise, he's going to keep so these are original, correct 16-inch riveted smoothies. So those he's going to keep, obviously, because those are amazing. But the other set of wheels we're going to build him are going to be a lot like this, which is, of course, a 356 wheel. But that being an early bus with 16s on it, we're going to go with the 16-inch 356 replicas. And then we're going to rehoop them to get them to an appropriate width and offset and stuff like that for the bus. So those are going to be pretty amazing. But anyway, where I was going with that was those finned brake drums, finned and polished, will show through the centers here, because we're not going to run caps on these, and then they'll show through these D-shaped openings in the 356 wheel. So you'll see all those fins kind of through there, and then in the center you'll just see this big sea of polished aluminum with the nut on the back or the dust cap on the front. So it's gonna look killer. So anyway, yeah, spent a good chunk of today kind of working on that and getting those things going. I also took the backing plates for those Porsche brakes over to our friends at Americoat for them to do their thing. They'll be, of course, powder coated like a semi-gloss black. And yeah, so that is underway. After that, I turned my attention to, the 68 double cab. And as you can see, and if you saw today's thumbnail, this thing is sitting on the ground now on its own wheels and tires. So huge milestone for this one. and I rolled it back in the shop for the kind of for the photo shoot when I took the picture for the thumbnail today. And then I had it back here and I thought, what the hell, I'm gonna go for it. So I started the thing up and drove it probably 15 feet or so, maybe 10, I don't know. Anyway, just in a straight line, literally from there to there. I mean, it's got all these parts on the bed here and stuff like that, you know, and the shop is pretty small. I didn't want to go too crazy, but just kind of feathered the clutch, feathered the throttle, and it did move under its own power. So I was texting back and forth with the owner, and he said, yeah, probably it's been at least 10 years since it's moved under its own power. So that was also a pretty huge milestone for this thing today. Let me show you what happened before that happened. Was I pretty much finished putting his dash together. So the gauge pod is actually screwed in there now, and it's got the heater and fresh air control knobs, which are those red and blue guys over there. You can see. So needless to say, the two red ones control the flow of heat, and the two blue ones control the fresh air. So on these, the fresh air comes through here. So there's these flappers in there. Those of you that have been watching the channel for a while probably remember when I put those in. So there's basically like a long skinny door on each side, and when you actuate that lever, that door opens up, and then that lets fresh air in through the nose of the bus, and then it comes through the ventilation system in here. But of course, this one also has air conditioning, which again is going to come through those two ducts there, and then the two side ones. So that's for AC. But anyway, yeah, so instrument cluster and those controls went in, the steering wheel went on, and so yeah, I did those things first. Speedometer cable is in and hooked up. I wanted to do that before I put all the, the dash in, and before I put the front wheels on, just because it's easier to, crawl around up underneath there when it was on jack stands and route the e-brake cable there to its little clip and stuff like that. So yeah, I did all those things first, and then put the car on the ground, and yeah, the rest is history, so to speak. So yeah, huge milestone for this thing. So Octavio and team are still working on all of the interior panels for it. And yeah, the thing actually now it can roll and be moved around if not driven. And what that means is that we can also move the thing easily down the driveway for those guys to put the headliner in. And apparently the owner and Octavio agreed they're going to do a German cloth headliner, which is kind of the like felt looking, I think in like a camel or something, that's going to go nicely with the leather in here, which is two-tone. Seats have been done for a while, doing the door panels now. And then after that, the only thing will be carpet, which I think we're going to use like a German square weave carpet instead of floor mats. And then again, the headliner is going to be German cloth. So dude, this thing is going to be insane how nice it's going to be. So yeah, actually the interior of this bus is kind of about the most major, I don't know, I'd say single item, even though it's a bunch of items left to do on this. Once the headliner goes in, we'll pop a windshield in it, and yeah, it's going to come together fast. I'm going to have to find another place to keep all these parts, because pretty soon we're going to want to move this thing around and drive it. And I'm pretty sure I don't want to do that with a Beetle hood and bumpers. Actually, these bumpers are off this bus, so they need to go on it here. But yeah, I'm not going to be able to use this as storage for much longer. So that's kind of a bummer, because space is pretty tight in this little shop. But yeah, anyway, we'll make do. A lot of these parts, most of them for that matter, are for this project. So they'll either be going on the car or going in his, all his spare parts, stuff that we didn't use. So one way or the other, we'll sort through all those. And yeah, probably go ahead and put his apron on pretty soon and get the back of this thing looking finished up here. Might as well, and put on his deck lid and stuff like that. This, which is the controller for the EFI system, just got it hooked up back here now, but there is a cable run all the way to the front of the bus along with the main wiring harness. So ultimately this thing will plug in inside the bus, and we'll probably mount it kind of like up underneath the dash, so the owner can have it display like a tachometer and, you know, oil temperature, whatever he wants. It can display several like digital gauges on there, and if he needs to go in and make any changes to the fuel injection system, he'd be able to do that, although he shouldn't need to. And but yeah, this puppy is gonna be coming along pretty quick. We're trying to get it to him so he can start taking this thing to shows. He's ready for show season. So that is actually it for today, guys. So as usual, appreciate you watching. Thank you everyone for all the comments and likes and subscriptions and all that good stuff. Really appreciate it. And so we will see you guys again tomorrow. Thanks for watching. Bye.